Hi, everyone. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my plans for these next couple weeks. I'm going to be honest with you and to start here to say this is very new to me. Um, I've been a classroom teacher for 17 years, so I know how to do that. I know how to be in the classroom, but this is different. So um, just wanted to ask you a little bit of patience. I know you guys have been really patient and we really appreciate that. So thank you. Um, I just want to talk to you about how I'm going to be communicating the assignments to the students and then how I'm going to be communicating whether or not they are complete um, to the students and also to the parents. So um, first of all, the main way that I'm going to communicate to the kids is through Google Classroom. So whether the assignment is actually an assignment that they're doing a worksheet or if it's something that they're doing that's from a different source like quizzes or Google Forms, or it's Envision, either way, I'm going to communicate that assignment through Google Classroom. So there'll be posts, like here's two that are upcoming, and they will come in and it'll say, what they're asked to do, and then there'll be attachments to that. So that should be a daily thing. Another way for a student to know what's assigned is in the classwork tab. There is a link to Google Calendar. So if they open this link to Google Calendar, it should take them to their own Google Calendar. And so what I'm seeing here is mine. I have a lot of options, but I only have the ones for the classes here open. So the assignments will post in Google Classroom. So will the Zoom or Google Hangouts that are assigned. And that way they can kind of keep track of, and if other teachers are using Google Classroom, it'll post in there too. So that way they can kind of keep track of their assignments on a daily basis. So that's a really good way to stay organized. And then they can even plan out like an agenda, because if you click on Google Calendar, there's a way. When you click on the month up, mine was by month. Was the way that mine set as standard. So maybe when you open your Google Calendar, it looked different, but this is the tab here where you would change it. And then you could see by the day, I don't know if it's going to load, or by the schedule. And then it kind of has it all laid out as a schedule too. So that would be one place to kind of keep track of all your different assignments on a daily basis, especially if all of your teachers are using Google Classroom. In addition to that, I will be using the Sapphire. And this is a screenshot of what you see when you click on the math grade in Community Portal. I took a screenshot of a student. If you recognize this as yours, don't tell anybody because it's supposed to be anonymous. So this is what it looks like in the last marking period. So whenever I had a homework assignment, that's not graded. So the homework assignments were either I was incomplete or I think that you can see my cursor here. So there will be like, I would be incomplete. If it was completed but then late, it would be considered late, or if it was completed on time, it was written as done. So I'm going to continue using that way of communicating. So when I have assignments from day to day, then I'm going to enter them in, and then I will be evaluating or checking up after 5 p.m. every day and putting in whether it was done or incomplete. It'll only be late if it's turned in like a week late. So I'm knowing that you're all currently doing things at different rates. So they will be in there and be communicated. So look for that to be updated in the evenings, okay? Sometime between 5 and midnight. So I would check every morning, and knowing that if a student is completing assignments at like 11 p.m., that might not be updated when you first check to see if everything's completed like right then at like 8 a.m. So, it could, if, there could be like a space, not overlap, but I would check every morning to see what things are completed for that day. So again, I was talking about the community portal or Sapphire. We call it Sapphire. You guys call it community portal. And everyone should have an account for that. That being said, another place where you will be getting assignments or assignments will be completed is in the Envision framework, which is great because we already have this online textbook and we already have all this online work that provided for us. So the kids are already used to using it. So I think it's going to be really useful in this time. Unfortunately, the first week of work, there wasn't a lot in our Envision program that actually dealt with area and perimeter and the stuff that we had to do. So that was all teacher created or resources that I found. But then from then on, you should see more Envision stuff. But again, I'm going to communicate those assignments through Google Classroom. So even though there'll be something done in Envision, you'll still know it through Google Classroom. And then you would see when they log in using they should be logging in here on the district website. They would log in through EasyBridge. And then that would bring them to this screen here. They would click on Realize. They all know this. They have done it repeatedly throughout the year. This is nothing new. And then it'll bring them to this screen. The green is their online textbook. So then they can browse through and read anything. This is through tests, which we really haven't used tests in Envision, but now you will see us using them more since we're going online. And then in the middle is where they usually show their work. So they would click on classes, and then that would bring them to, right. And then this is a different screen than what they would see. This is what I see when I click on classes. But that's where their class assignments would be. So there's that. But again, everything should be, look for everything to be communicated through Google Classroom. And at this point, I don't have any parent accounts for Google Classroom. If that's something that you would like me to do, I can add parents into Google Classroom so that you can see those things if you really want. Just let me know. And then if there's anything, like, I'm just being honest. So if there's anything that you're seeing that, Mrs. Urban is doing this with her class and this really helps me, could you consider doing that? Like, feel free to tell me. We don't normally I would be in the hallway talking to my friends, and we would be talking about what we're doing in our classrooms, and we would be like, oh, that's a good idea. And we don't have that right now. So, if you know something that they're doing or something, if you're a teacher and you're doing something and you're like, hey, maybe you want to try this, don't be shy about telling me. I'm willing to hear anything. And so thank you so much for listening to what's going to be a 9-minute video. And hopefully they answer some of your questions and some of your concerns. But if you have any others, feel free to contact me. And I should be able to get back to you within 24 hours. Okay? All right. Take care. God bless. Thank you.